Hi there, welcome, and thanks for joining me today. I'm going to talk about the body being more than machine. And just to let you know, these are just recorded blog posts. If you prefer reading these, you can go over to the website and read them. I think the link is provided below. So when we become sick, when we have a physical malady or an illness that is plaguing us, we commonly curse the physical body. And we search for a solution in the form of a substance or a therapy that is going to fix the problem. Okay, just like a mechanic fixing a broken axle in a car. Okay, and this is the materialism of medicine, that the human body can be distilled down to its physical components. In other words, human experience can always be explained through physiological processes like chemical messengers, hormones, neurotransmitters, cellular scaffolding, vitamins, amino acids, decay, absorption. And this is typically the perspective that we have regarding how our body works, and the health and medicine fit into this way of thinking very easily. And it's true that the physical body absolutely does operate much like a machine in many ways. However, the ways in which the body does not operate like a machine are perhaps the most interesting and often the most significant aspects of our health. And they're significant because they're often overlooked or misunderstood as having direct connection to the physical symptoms that we're experiencing or you're experiencing. And so that's right. I did just say that there are other things that are not physical that are connected to the symptoms that you're experiencing in your body. And so one of the difficulties in understanding these non-physical factors arises when we assume that whenever the body is ill or when it's in pain, that the machine is broken, that the machine is malfunctioning and in need of a physical repair, right? So the difficulty in understanding these non-physical factors is in assuming that there's always a physical cause to the failure, that there's always a physical cause to the symptom. We've assumed that throughout the years that our physical body is a measure of our health. And when we think of health, we tend to assume that it has to do with our physical body. We have all sorts of markers to determine if we are healthy, like cardiovascular markers and lipid markers and blood sugar and blood pressure, respiratory rate, pulse oximetry, iron levels, hormone levels, just to name a few. And there's many, many hundreds more markers that we look at. And all of these numbers are very important to us. And if all these numbers come back and they check out, then we're deemed to be healthy. Okay? And that's great, except that there are many people who go to the doctor and their numbers check out who are clearly not healthy. They're in pain. They have horrible digestion. They have daily headaches or depression, anxiety, insomnia. These people, and maybe it's you, are suffering, and because their numbers check out, they're told that they're fine. And the thing is, when a doctor tells you you're fine, it's the same thing as saying that you should be healthy. So this all begs the question, could there be more to health than what is physical? And absolutely, there is more to health than our physical body. In fact, the physical body is exactly 1/4, a fourth of the total of our personal life experience. Okay, in many ways, it's actually merely the antenna for the other ways in which we experience the world. Okay, so the other three areas or the other three ways in which we experience the world include emotionally. Okay, so these are the pesky feelings that sometimes we wish we didn't have or we try very hard to cover up and pretend we don't have. And they're directly related to your health. In fact, we all have what I would call an emotional body that can be balanced and healthy as well as sick and dysfunctional. So this emotional body interacts with the physical body as well. So when you feel unhappy or irritable or angry, depressed, or stressed out, you probably notice a tightening of your shoulders, perhaps pain increases or your digestion becomes more dysfunctional. And likewise, when you're feeling intense pain and discomfort, your emotional body will be impacted by maybe making you feel lethargic or depressed, confused, overwhelmed, or scared. And these are things that are very commonly experienced when someone has a chronic illness. So that's the emotional body. So the second additional way in which we experience the world is mentally. So you are constantly thinking. You have thoughts and opinions and ideas about what you see, what you hear, what you're doing, and how you're feeling. And these thoughts, in a very real way, shape the way you relate to your world and other people in it. These thoughts are also a major part of how you relate to yourself. And just like the emotional body, the mental body interacts and influences the physical body as well. In fact, the thoughts that you have about yourself, your mental attitude, and your internal voice drastically affect the state of your physical health. And perhaps the easiest way to demonstrate the relationship between your thoughts and your physical health is by pointing out that it is always through your thoughts that you are able to be kind to yourself and take care of your physical health by eating properly, exercising, and doing things to lower your stress level and other things that promote health in your life, right? If you have thoughts that those things are unimportant, undesirable, or impossible for you, it's unlikely that you're going to incorporate those things into your life, right? We also construct mental stories about what health is, and that shapes our relationship with health. And this obviously impacts our willingness to do those things and make healthy changes in our lives as well. So our mental body absolutely impacts whether or not we're going to manifest health in our lives. So, and the third aspect or the third factor that goes into our health, I guess it would be the fourth factor. So we have the physical body, we have the emotional body or our emotions, we have the mental body or our thoughts and opinions and stories that we tell of ourselves. And then the fourth would be our spiritual body, okay? And our existential experience plays a major role in how we relate to the world and relate to ourselves and relate to our health. And this is not a question of religion, okay? Your spiritual body this is where you find your purpose, your inspiration for life, and your connection with a world that is bigger than you, okay? It's also the potential that you have for creating beauty, happiness, and joy inside of yourself and also in your life. So feelings of guilt and shame and judgment are incredibly common symptoms of a spiritual body that is out of sync or out of balance, as well as just feeling disconnected from life. And so, because generally the spiritual body's major role is to connect you to your true purpose, as well as keep you honest to your own self, as well as keep you enriched through a connection with what I might call, and what many people call, the great mystery of life. Just that feeling that I'm part of a greater whole that includes other human beings, animals, nature, the earth as a whole, right? The sun, sky, right? All those archetypal elements that kind of come together to create life. Feeling connected to that, right, is part of this spiritual body. So, things that nourish the spiritual body are laughter, service to others, and also surrendering control over things that cannot be controlled. So those are the four bodies. And I talk about those and use those in my practice significantly. And these other three elements are, they interact to an incredible extent, and very intimately and dynamically with other aspects of our lives, which both inform and change our experience in very significant ways. Okay, so our emotional, our mental, and our spiritual selves, our bodies, interact with things like family dynamics, our communities, our cultural experiences, and our business atmosphere, right? They also interact with our past traumas and major life mistakes, as well. And all of these experiences, along with the interactions that these experiences have with our thoughts, our emotions, and our spiritual connectedness, they all influence our physical body, our physical sense of self, and our physical health, and influence things in our body like our pain, our digestion, our hormones, our energy, right? So all of these four elements of our human experience come together to create what we would call health. And when we feel like our health is not in balance, or we have some type of dysfunctional symptom happening, we need to look beyond simply the physical body to uncover the underlying causes of those dysfunctions, of those symptoms, especially when we've gone in to see doctors who have either told us that we're fine, that there's no lab work that can pinpoint a cause, or we are still struggling after those causes have been addressed. So I hope that was helpful and informative for you, and I hope you continue having an amazing day. Oh.